Hi guys, welcome to this third class on modeling, and it's about how to create a low poly cartoon car. So, as you can see, I did the other door handle here and also in the rear end. I created some plates. And also I've added this little handle for the trunk. So let's keep working on the tires because I would like to have some beveling on the inner part of them. So we are going to the tire and make a loop selection of this area. Now, using the same parameters we used before, we are going to create a little beveling. Okay, something like this. As we are working with symmetries, the other tires will be modified accordingly. Okay, now I want to separate the window from the car. To do this, we're going to take the structure of the car and press Ctrl+C and Ctrl+V to duplicate it. Now select the windows. Okay, before doing that, check the Only Select Visible Elements box. And it will be easier for us to select only the windows. Notice that we are working with a duplicated car. So once you've selected the windows, go to Select and click Invert to invert the selection. And then press Delete. This way, we'll end up with the windows only. Now take the original car and do the same. Although this time we are going to delete only the windows. Okay. And now see that here we have actual windows. We left the front one, so let's do it again. Perfect. So it's okay now. Guys, we are doing this because it will help us to add the materials later on or work on the inside of the car like we are doing now. Okay, let's continue with a spoiler for the car. To do this, create a cube and place it over the rear end, like I'm doing right now. Okay, something like this. Now make it editable and grab the loop and make a couple of cuts. Okay, with this option over here, we can move around the cuts. This one on the 85 and this one on the 15. Okay, and now let's make another cut here and here. Now we are going to select these polygons below. Okay. And we are going to make a horizontal cut here. Okay, perfect. Now we are going to select these polygons and, as always, make an extrusion to generate the support for the spoiler. Okay, keep making extrusions and keep modifying them using these arrows if you want to, obviously. Okay, guys, if you find it too white, we can make some changes. For example, I'm going to move this up a little bit before selecting the points. And I'm also going to narrow this. And now those from the other side. Oops, I left this point. Okay, perfect. Okay, we can modify this to make it not so white. And now we can place the spoiler properly. You can also modify these points of the spoiler, but this depends on what you want. In my case, I'm going to make this part a little wider or narrower. I don't know, it's just up to you. Okay, like this. Okay, and now we are going to work with the inside of the car. For example, let's make the floor. Just create a cube and scale it down. Yeah, like this. What we need to do is covering all this part, and later we'll be creating the seats. Like this, more or less. Now we are going to make it editable and then make some cuts using the loop tool. For example, one here, another here, right? And now select the points, this one and this one, and also at the other side. Once you have them, move them up. So everything you see that you need to modify, just do it. It's just a matter of patience, as I always say. So we can leave it like this, I think. It will be the base of the floor, and now we can start making the seats. So we are going to create a cube, as always, and we are going to place it inside the car and try to get the appropriate size for it. It's like a seat for 3 people, kind of. So let's make it editable and then make a cut. Here is fine. And now we're going to select this polygon and make an extrusion. Like that. Adjust it with the scale tool. Great. And you also need to modify the points. Okay, make it narrow. Perfect. Okay. Let's select this area. Okay, also the bottom. And we are going to make a cut by clicking here and then generate another one by clicking this plus sign. Okay, before doing this, let's go back one step and let's duplicate this cube so that we have a base for the front seats. So let's move it here for now and make the cuts. Just click here and then on the plus sign. Now we are going to select the other cube, which is the front seat, and scale it down. And once it is scaled, we are going to move it to the place we want it to be. So we are going to duplicate it and move to the side. Okay, like that, a little bit. Obviously, we can also make them narrower if we want to. And also for the seats of the back. So there's not much left to do on the inside of the car, only the dashboard, but that would depend on the view of the car. In fact, I'm going to remove one of the seats and I'm going to tilt the other one to the back. Yes, a little bit. So to avoid problems, guys, we are going to use a symmetry. That way, if we change something on the seat, the other one would change too. Okay? Okay, let's make the steering wheel. And to do this, we are going to create a torus. We're going to rotate it and scale it down. Like this. In the properties, you'll find the ring segments, which you can lower, and you will also find other options. And now what I'm going to do is reducing the number of segments. How is it going? I know there are a lot of details, but I'm sure that you are doing great. Okay, so let's make this editable. Okay, you can use this number 18 and 9 and make this editable. Now let's see what we can do. Okay, with one of these parts. With the points mode, we are going to join these points with the Polygon Pen Tool to create the central part of the steering wheel. Now create more polygons joining these points. Don't forget to do it from below too. And also behind. Yeah. So guys, select this area that we've just created and make a couple of cuts. Yes, like this, one here, another here. But obviously, again, it depends on your preferences. But I'm going to extrude this a little bit. Okay, let's make here another extrusion and scale it down, and the same down here. Okay, another extrusion and scale it down. We're going to do the same back here. Watch out. We have this normal inverted, and that's something that we must be careful with. Yeah, there are two inverted normals. To fix this, right-click and select Reverse Normals. Now let's make a couple of cuts here to do the base of the steering wheel. One here and then there. Okay guys, so adjust the seats a bit more, and now all that's left is the door plates and the dashboard. So we are going to begin with a cube and adjust it. I'm going to fast forward this part because it's the same all the time. You know how it works. Adjust the cube and then using the points, create the dashboard. Something very simple. You don't have to make anything difficult. After that, place the steering wheel and adjust the seats. We could also make the mirror, so let's fast forward this for now. Okay, take the cube for the dashboard and place it. You may move away the seats if you need so. As you can see, we are working with primitives. Make a cut on the cube using the points, modify its shape towards the doors. Then make some more cuts and use the extrusions to create the dashboard depending on your preferences. Let's create here another primitive and modify it to make the handbrake part. We are working always with primitives, then use a cylinder to create the gearbox. Later, we'll place a sphere on top of it, with a low number of subdivisions because we are aiming for a low poly look. You can change the scale on the top of the gearbox and that would be it. Then, create another cube and place it up here to make the rear view mirror. As you can see, it's a very simple piece. So just extrude the front face and then the back face too to create the support. Okay? Guys, let's keep working on the seats for a moment. I want to take the driver's seat and make some cuts. I think that 1 or 2 might be enough. And now I'm going to move these points up a bit to achieve a more organic look. Like that. And let's do the same with the back seats. Just select the points and move them slightly up. A little bit. That's it. And for the last part, we are going to make the wing mirrors. For that, we need to create a circle spline. Okay, select it and leave it here where it is and don't change anything. Now we are going to select this view. Okay, and we are going to grab the pen tool to create a spline. From here to here, super easy. And then we are going to create a sweep object. Parent both the splines to the sweep, and after that, we are going to select the circle and change its plane. Let's see. Okay, much better now. We need the XY plane and the spline must be under the circle. So now we can lower the radius of the circle. Okay, more or less like this. If we increase the angle, there will be less subdivisions. If this spline had more points, we could do this differently. For example, if we create a spline with a curve, you'll see the difference. See how it would be if we did it. We can delete the points of the older spline to make it disappear. In any case, the shape will vary depending on the preferences you have. Now select the sweep and we are going to move it where it should be, which is here. As I told you before, we can modify various parameters here. In case we want to increase the angle of the spline, the number of divisions must be lower. Now we are going to create another cube to make the glass of the mirror. Okay, it's almost done, so we are going to move it here. And as we did before, we can check the fillet box to make it look less blocky. We don't want these sharp edges. Something like this. Now we need another piece to connect these two. But before that, take this cube and make it editable, and then select this polygon. Make an extrusion to the inside, and now make this piece. To do that, we could use a variety of elements here, any of them. I think a half sphere will be fine. Just change the type to hemisphere. After that, move the half sphere to the side and adjust it by rotating and scaling it. Okay, scale it, perfect. And guys, once it's done, what we are going to do is select all these elements and group them. Then we are going to duplicate it using a symmetry object. And as always, you have to choose the XY for the mirror plane. Don't forget that. Well, as you can see inside of the car, we are missing the two plates. So we are going to select these edges and then the ones on the other side. Then, once it's selected, we are going to make an extrusion like this one. Afterwards, we are going to select these edges and move them like this. Actually, these details are not going to be visible because we'll be make a render from the outside. But it's good to know how to make this. And here comes the difficult step. We have to join these points to create a polygon. It's difficult because the bottom part is hidden down here, so we'll have to look for it. You know that you can hide the seed if that makes it easy for you to find the points and then create the polygon. Okay, where is it? Let's see if I can find it. Okay, here it is. Let's move down the camera a little bit. Okay, let's click on that point and then go to the other one to create the polygon. Okay, click. So, we have created this panel and now we are going to do it in this part. Click here and start creating the polygon. I'm going to fast forward this while I repeat the same process on the other side because you know it already. What you have to do is keep creating the polygons and be careful when you get to the upper part, where you'll need to create another polygon joining the points. I'm going to finish the video here, and in the next lesson, we're going to apply some color to the car. We are also going to create the lighting before getting the final render. Guys, it's just a matter of patience, as I always say. So guys, hope that your car is going very well and see you in the last video. Bye!